So I'm guessing you're a musician, you're in a band, or you're an artist. I'm guessing you're independent, and we all want to be successful. So what I'm really trying to find out today is, what does it mean to be independent in 2021? I want to talk fundamentals, and I reckon I got the answers. So let's get into it. So the idea of how is very wide, but with every outcome, there's usually different ways to achieve that goal. So I want to give you some tips, habits to learn, 5 things that you can do to be a successful indie musician. And I'll be going through the following: brand awareness, understanding your plan, investing in yourself, collabs and connects, slowing down to speed up, and enjoying the process, with a few tips at the end. So make sure you stay to the end to catch those. As per, make sure you click the chapters, the timestamps, the markers, and move in and around the video where you feel best. But if not, you know exactly what to do. Sit back, take note, and relax. Alright, so before we start officially, make sure you hit subscribe on the Ditto Music YouTube channel. I'm going to need you to hit like and make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single video. Get down in the comments, people, and join the Ditto community. Listen, if you feel like you have done all you can to become or try to become a successful independent musician, let us know in the comments what you've done, where you feel like your failures are or your successes are, and let's start a conversation down below. So let's get straight into it. Brand awareness, brand identity, establishing your brand. Defining yourself officially from the jump is so important in so many different ways. It allows your audience to buy into you as a brand, as a person, as an entity. And it's known in the industry and music business that people will support you way before they support your music. So straight away, that tells you have to work more on yourself, on your brand, whilst you're creating the music to kind of make something that's cohesive and something that people can buy into. So it's so important to keep your social branding, your visual branding, all in line with what you want to create and what you want to put out. Having that focus will allow people to want to buy into you, and it will make it a lot more easier, especially if you're an independent musician. One of the first set of things you can do is simple as an idea, but in time will take practice. And it's these things: is to decide what your brand is, what do you represent, who are you, who is your product or service for, why is it important, what's the need for it, is it unique, and in your case, what is your sound? And what does it sound like? Asking yourself those questions and answering those questions will allow you to hone in a lot more on what your brand is or will be. And once you've decided your sound, your influences, and I mean any of your interests, then it'd be good to put all this information on a mood board, some kind of document, whether it's physical or digital, and really see a visual example of what you look like and what you want to promote and showcase. Visualize yourself on stage. Think about colors, images, words, fashion, style. And it's almost easy to create that image by literally drawing or sketching out some kind of idea of what you want to represent. Understanding all of these characteristics and where they fit with your brand will be the key to how you connect with your audience. So there's a particular business book, and it's called Good to Great by Jim Collins. He speaks in this book a lot about how companies can go from almost startup or semi-great to global successes. And they can do this by having something called a hedgehog, a clear hedgehog. And the hedgehog lies at the intersection point of 3 questions. First question: what are you most passionate about? The second question: what can you do best in the world? The third question: what drives your economic engine? AKA, what do you know people will pay for? And the trick here is, once you understand that in that intersectional part, you'll get the thing that you can do with your business, your entity, your brand, you as an independent musician, to really allow people to buy into your brand, and that will be your unique selling point. And if that's not the easiest thing to comprehend, you can also think about the why, how, and the what. So the why is what actually compels you to create music and showcase it to the world. Why are you doing it? The how is, how does the music you make actually reflect that? And to just be specific, what type of music do you make? I mean, answering these questions will definitely make it a lot easier to hone in on your brand, and it makes it a lot easier to really answer these questions and understand why you're doing what you're doing. So we've touched on branding, and once you've kind of got that in a good place, another area to focus on is understanding your plan and playing on your strengths to really execute your goals. If you're able, set short and simple goals, short-term goals, but always try to keep them realistic and achievable. That'll build your ability to achieve with small wins, and ultimately will allow you to have things checked off. So when thinking about goals, loosely create 5 to 10 targets. It's really about manifesting, so think about what it'll feel like, what it'll look like, what you would have achieved after those targets are met. And don't be afraid to tweak or change those goals if the realm you're in, the environment you're in changes, and even more so if you have an opportunity to better the results and the outcome. Once you've gotten through your initial targets, you'll really need to evaluate and see how you could have done better or potentially done more. So then you'll need to think carefully about the next steps and the next potential targets. Then it's a process of repeat and evaluate each time. Like I said, it's a mental game. It's about manifesting, but always play to your strengths. Some people need to utilize a calendar, so utilize your calendar. Some people have great memory, so utilize your memory. And some people need to write it down or have it close to them in their phone. And if you're in a space all the time, utilize sticky notes, a whiteboard, something that can remind you every day in a place that you'll see it every day. Have a close friend hold you accountable for the things that you say you're gonna do. It's basically putting a guilt trip onto yourself. So short-term goals are great, but the focus here is to have some long-term goals. Realistically, you'll use the short-term goals to get you to the long-term goals. Eventually, it will all piece together, but if you're not willing to work and build on these short-term goals, it's gonna be quite difficult to obtain and hit the targets of the long-term goals. And a lot of it's about consistency, being persistent, staying focused, reminding yourself, and actually having some passion towards what you're doing. So with understanding your goals, it's so important to fall into the habit of investing into yourself in a monetary sense, but also by collaborating, connecting, and building your network. There's a business term saying that your network is your net worth. And the best way to build that is to attach yourself to like-minded people and people that you aspire to be like, or people that are doing things that you potentially want to do. You should always be connecting with people, and not just only artists, but creatives in different spaces within music, business, and media. Connect with radio presenters, DJs, and hosts, promo and PR individuals and companies, media and music producers, people at an entry point in their career that you can see the drive in them, and you know that they're going to keep pushing, because within 2-3 years they may be manager, potentially even CEO of whatever company they're working at. And this is where we kind of speak about the investing part. As an independent artist, an independent musician, you'll have to wear many different hats. So if you can't pay for a service or a product, then you'll have to invest your time into gaining the knowledge to do those things for yourself. So editing videos, when we're talking TikTok, Instagram, music videos, it's so important right now for artists to have an understanding or a grasp of how to do so. TikTok itself is a great all-in-one content creation app, as well as a social media platform. It's highly important to do research and watch music videos on how to mix and master music, because if you're able to get your own equipment, you're going to save a lot of money recording at home and creating music and getting it to a professional level with the minimal tools you have. And indirectly, by investing, you're actually saving money, because those weekly and monthly trips to studios and rehearsal spaces start to build up in price. And when the time is right, if you're able to pay for services like a radio plugger, promotion, rather than only sending emails out yourself and not receiving anything back. Industry people will always be more receptive to someone speaking on behalf of you than they would if you are speaking on behalf of yourself. And lastly, it takes money to make money, so don't be afraid to find some income on the side, whether it's a part-time job, freelance work, contractual work, consultations, support work, being a mentor, music teacher. And in some cases, you can try and find a job like a warehouse job where you can work longer days but have more days off. Investing, really look into different spaces where you can utilize your talents you already have to make money, so you can actually put it back in to what you do. Which leads me nicely to the next point, slowing down to speed up. Try not to rush your creative process. A lot of people think because we are now in a space where people digest music quickly and forget about it just as quick, that we have to create and release music straight away. But realistically, that isn't the best thing for the fan or the artist, unless you have a plan. In one of my recent videos, I spoke about the waterfall strategy and how that can help you as a musician. But this is more about taking the idea, taking the fact that people potentially want less bodies of work and more singles so they can create their own playlists. So the idea here is that you've created your brand, you've understood and made some really unique goals, you've invested in yourself, and then you want to create some music. But what you can do is create loads of music, build your music catalog, get to the point where you've got 20, 30 songs ready to go. And when the time is right, you release each track. Definitely have ample time between these singles, and you can do it in a fashion where you're not rushing, because these songs, you've spent time, you've spent weeks, if not months, really listening to the songs, understanding them, getting them to a completion stage. So when you are releasing these songs, it may seem rushed, but you have spent the time beforehand, and then now you're in a position where you can focus on the logistics and the business side. But the trick here more than anything is to not rush, work with your audience, see what they like, test the waters, give them more of what they like and see if it still works. So like I said, this can lead into the waterfall strategy, but this technique is more about having music in the archive and being able to focus on other things while you're releasing new music. And I mean, alternatively, you can just create music that fits in with the times, with the trends, with the challenges. But realistically, that music doesn't always leave you with heavy supporting fans. You are literally just a trend for the moment. A lifelong fan base that you've worked on for years and built a foundation from could potentially feed your family and your generations to come. But temporary success is exactly that. A lot of the time it's temporary. And that's how you slow down to speed up. So the great thing about not rushing is that it allows you now to enjoy the process. It allows you to build on what you do, gain new skills, and also understand new techniques. It's important to receive and get feedback from fans, family, friends. Try get an understanding of vibe if the sound that you're creating will work, but always try to have fun while doing it. Well, realistically, this all depends if you're doing this for solely business purposes or if music to you is a passion. And for most people, both are just as important. But if it's only for business purposes, then you should be aiming to capitalize off trends and challenges, looking at what's working and trying to emulate it and make your own version of that. But like I said, you'll be basically chasing second place forever. But if it's passion and you care about the music, then when it connects for good. I would say don't continue anything unless you enjoy it, you love it, there's something that's connecting you to the work that you're making. And it's a tricky one, but try not to force things just because you think it's the right move. It's a longer journey a lot of the time being an independent artist or musician, or even if you're in a band. But if you stay consistent, it'll definitely be worth the end result. The passion, the fun element, it's what fuels your career. But yeah, if you really want to expand on your abilities or your use as a musician or artist, or if you're in a band, then really think about things outside of what you normally do within music to see how you can help monetize what you do further and also be an extra benefit when it comes to collaborating. Really try to understand engineering, mixing and mastering, production, producing music, playing an instrument or two or three or four, and even songwriting to a level where you can write for someone else. Having those extra skills over time will definitely make the whole process a lot more unique when it comes to collaborating, working with other artists, and just making your own music. And there's so much more points and tips I can give you, and potentially I'll save that for another video. But I did want to kind of say, here's a few things that you can kind of think about, some extra tips just for you. So once you've done all what we've just spoken about, think about how you can fund yourself, really invest into yourself. Try release your music regularly. Don't only rely on social media, even though we're in a space that we're in right now. There's other means and other ways that you can connect with people. And never forget email marketing. Your email list is a big part of your network. Operate like a business. You are the business. Perform live, whether it's online or offline, and keep your brand alive and keep it in people's faces. Get a website and be aware of promo services with fake likes and fraud and fake YouTube views. That can only ever be damaging to your profile. Be patient and be consistent. And remember, sometimes the destination isn't as great as you may think, so really enjoy the journey. I really hope this video gave you great ideas moving forward. We touched on brand awareness, understanding your plan, investing in yourself, collabs and connects, slowing down to speed up, not rushing the process, and enjoying the process with a few extra tips. So from me, Vital, and the whole Ditto Music team, I want to say thank you and blessings. I will catch you guys on the next video, but make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single video. And get down in the comments and let us know exactly your successes, your failures as a musician, and what you feel you could have done better. Let's start the conversation. Catch you guys next time. Peace.